Hello, fifth grade. Today in math, we are doing lesson 7.6, and it is called graph ordered pairs. So again, today we are working with the coordinate plane. We are looking at the x-axis and the y-axis and the origin, and we are going to make those ordered pairs, those groups of numbers with the x and the y, and we're going to graph them on our coordinate plane. So really this is like a review of what we did yesterday, but you have to pay close attention to make sure that you get what you need to get on each of your graphs with your points. So we're going to start right on in. Remember, you should have a note sheet with you if you are in class, so make sure your title says this. You have everything glued in and ready to go. And we are going to start. You copy down the notes just like I go through them, just as if I were in class today teaching this to you. Number 1 says, complete the add for table. So I'm going to look up here at the add for table. And this is kind of like a pattern going on. It's going to give me a number over here, and it wants me to add 4 to get the number over here. So they've done the first one for us. 1, add 4 would give me a 5 over here. So 2, add 4 would give me a 6 over here. 3, add 4 would give me a 7 on this side. 4, add 4 would give me an 8 over here. And 5, add 4 would give me a 9 over here. So now we have completed that table, so I'm going to check off number 1. Remember, I kind of like to check them off so I know what I've done and what I still need to do. Looking at number 2, it says, complete the XY table to show the ordered pairs that the add for table represents. So I'm going to take these groups of numbers and I'm going to put them in an ordered pair, like my X coordinate and my Y coordinate. So again, they've done the first one for us. We had 1 and 5. So they made it the ordered pair 1, 5. So now we're just looking to make these into ordered pairs with those parentheses and those commas. So 2, 6 is going to become 2, 6 right here. I'm just copying them down into my ordered pair groups. 3 and 7. 4 and 8. And 5 and 9. So that step is pretty easy, but we don't want to make silly mistakes, so be careful as you go through. I'm going to check off number 2 because we have completed that, and then I'm going to read number 3. I'm just going to keep right on going down through here. Number 3 says, each ordered pair represents a point in the coordinate plane. Graph and connect the points. So I have to graph these on my coordinate plane and connect them when I get done. So first we are graphing 1, 5. Remember, X always comes before Y just like it does in the alphabet. So the first number is my X. So go across 1 and up 5 and make a point. Now it doesn't have a letter for that point today, so we're just going to leave it as a point. We would only put a letter if it gave us one, and it doesn't give us one. So then I'm going to move my finger down. Next I need to graph 2, 6. So remember, X comes first, so go across 2 and up 6 and put my next point. When I'm done with that one, I'm going to move my finger down to the next one. Here I am graphing 3, 7. So go across 3 because I have to do the X first and up 7. And my point would be right there. Hopefully your notebook is looking like mine so far. Move my finger down. Next I'm graphing 4, 8. So go across to 4, do the X first, up to 8, put my point there. And we have one more point to graph here, so we have 5, 9. Go across to 5 and up to 9. I have all my points graphed. Remember, it also said I need to connect them, so I'm just playing connect the dots now and connecting these, and you'll notice they're kind of in a straight line today. And there would be my finished coordinate plane for what it was asking me to do. So I will check off number 3 because I got that done. Remember, don't forget, X has to come before Y every single time, just like it does in the alphabet. So I have to go across and then up. I can't go up and then across. Some of you made that mistake yesterday. You have to go across the X, then up the Y. X always comes before Y. Alrighty, I'm going to scooch my notebook down to the next section. You did a very nice job on that section. Let's go down here and see how we do down here. So there's this stuff up here, but I need to read the numbers first. So number 4 says, write 5 ordered pairs that the data represent. So I have this chart up here, and I'm going to turn that information into ordered pairs, just kind of like we did above. So 0 and 0 obviously go together. Remember, when I write an ordered pair, I put parentheses around and I put a comma in between. Then 1 and 1 go together, so that's another ordered pair that I'm going to write here. Then 2 and 2. Notice I'm getting my parentheses and my commas around each ordered pair. That's what makes it a pair. 3 and 3. And 4 and 4. So all of those were duplicate numbers on there. So here are my 5 ordered pairs that came from my table up here. So I'm going to check off number 4. That part's done. Then I'm going to read what number 5 says. Graph the ordered pairs. What does each axis of the graph represent? Well, first let's graph the ordered pairs because that's what it was wanting me to do first. So my first ordered pair is 0, 0. That's going to be right down here in the corner. If you remember from yesterday, that is called the origin. Remember, this point down here is called the origin. All right, my next ordered pair is 1, 1. So go across the X to 1 and up 1. Be right there. My next ordered pair to graph is 2, 2. So go across the X to 2 and then up 2. Hopefully you're noticing a little pattern here on our graphing. Next we have 3, 3. So go across to 3 and up to 3. And finally I have 4, 4. So across to 4, up to 4. Notice every single time I went across and then up because I always have to do X and then Y. It did not say to connect this time, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. It's not going to hurt us to play connect the dots here so that we have a completed graph that kind of looks like our graph that we made up above. Now we still have a little bit of number 5 to answer. What does each axis of the graph represent? So they kind of want us to put labels, kind of like you would if you were making a graph in science. I know that you do that sometimes. So the x-axis down here was our first number. Well, let's look back in our chart. What did these first numbers stand for? They stood for the age in years of the shrub. So down here on my x-axis, I'm going to label it age, and then I'm going to put years in parentheses, just like they did on the chart. Because really, we're just taking this chart information and putting it onto our coordinate plane, making a little graph here. Then I need to think about my y-axis. Well, remember, my y-axis is my second number of each. So that was my second column, and that stood for height in feet. So I'm going to turn my page, and I'm going to write my label up my y-axis. That is height in feet of the shrubs. So they're just wanting me to label each of my axes because we were using this chart, and it had labels for each one of those things. So we can label them if we need to. Now down here to show that I did this, I'm just going to write labeled on graph. That way when I look back at my notes and I'm wondering, how did I answer that? I can look, oh yeah, I labeled it on the graph, and then I can look at my graph and see how I labeled. Now it looks like we've answered all of number 5, so I would check that one off because I've also completed that. So we have done 1 through 5. We've done 2 different coordinate planes. We've graphed some ordered pairs on both of those. We have a little bit more to do. My next page is glued on the back side, so I'm going to have to flip. Yours might be side by side, so you just need to flip over to wherever your next page is that we're going to work on today. And we have a few more to do here before you start on your assignment. It says, in 20 minutes, a dripping faucet leaks 10 milliliters of water. Alrighty. Number 6, complete the table to show the amount of water that will leak in 0, 40, and 60 minutes. And here is my table. Well, they told us, remember, in 20 minutes, 10 milliliters will leak. Well, in 0 minutes, how much water would leak from the faucet? 0. If no time has passed, no water can leak yet. So this would definitely be a 0. Then in 20 minutes, 10 milliliters would leak. So in 40 minutes, 20 milliliters would leak because we're just counting by tens. Every 20 more minutes, it's going to leak 10 more milliliters of water. So first it'll leak 0 milliliters, then 10 milliliters, then 20 milliliters, and after 60 minutes, it will have leaked 30 milliliters of water. It's quite a bit of water. Hopefully we don't have a dripping faucet. It's not good. Okay, so I just filled in my chart. This is kind of like combining our patterns that we did earlier in the week. This is a pattern counting by 20s. This is a pattern counting by 10s. So just filling in those patterns like I know how to do. Number 6 looks like it's complete, so I'm going to check that one off and look down at number 7. Remember, I'm checking these off because I want to make sure that I read them really carefully to make sure that I've done everything that it has asked me to do. I don't want to be skipping any steps. Number 7 says, write the ordered XY pairs that the data represent. Then graph and connect the points and extend the line. Whew, that's a lot of things. All right, write the ordered XY pairs that the data represent. We can do that first. So looking back at my chart, I'm going to write these as ordered pairs. So 0 and 0 go together. Put that in my first group there. They even have the parentheses and the commas for me already. Next group is my 20 and my 10. Remember, keeping them in order. The 20 is on top, so it needs to come first. Then I have my 40 and my 20, so that will be my next ordered pair. And then finally, I have my 60 and my 30, so that would be my final ordered pair. Now, I'm not done with number 7 because remember, it said a lot of things in there, so let's look back at what it says next. Then graph and connect the points and extend the line. Okay, so we need to put these ordered pairs on our coordinate plane down here. So I'm going to scooch my notebook down a little bit. My first ordered pair is 0, 0. Ooh, that's the origin again, down here in the corner. 0, 0 is at the origin, right there in the corner. My next ordered pair is 20, 10. Remember, 20 is the X. So go across to 20 and up to 10. My next ordered pair is 40, 20. So 40 is first, so that's the X. Go across to 40 and up to 20. And my next ordered pair is 60, 30. So 60 is first, that's the X. Go across to 60 and up to 30. Now I have all of those points graphed on my graph. Remember, they don't need letters because they don't have any letters. It wanted me to connect the points and extend the line. So connect your points. Remember, we're paying connect the dots. And extend the line means keep it going. What would it look like if it kept going? And I'm just going to extend it all the way off my graph like that. Extend means to make it longer, so just keep your line going. And on the end, it's good to put an arrow because that would show that line could keep going on and on and on. That's what the arrow means. Okay, now I think we've done everything on number 7. So I'm going to scooch back up here a little bit, and I'm going to check off number 7. And we just have one more thing to complete here, number 8. What amount of water would you expect to leak in 50 minutes? Explain your answer. Okay, so look back up here at the chart. This is where it's easiest to tell. We had 20 minutes, 40 minutes, 60 minutes. This is asking about 50 minutes. How much water would I expect to leak in 50 minutes? Well, I'm thinking 50 would be halfway between 40 and 60. So it would come right here in the middle. And this is 20 and this is 30. So halfway between 20 and 30 would be 25 milliliters. So I think 25 milliliters is going to leak in 50 minutes. And I have to explain why. So I'm going to say because 50 minutes is halfway between 40 and 60 minutes. And if I know how much water leaks in 40 minutes and how much water leaks in 60 minutes, I can guess what halfway would be for 50 minutes and about how much water would have leaked from there. I answered their question and I explained my answer, so number 8 is also done. All right, we are finished with today's lesson, looking at those coordinate planes and graphing the ordered pairs. Now it is time for you to work on your assignment. Make sure you do your very best, take your time, and use your notes to help you if you need to. Bye.